Hey, it's Angel Vane, and this is episode 76 of My Author's Diary. I am an author of crime thrillers for women, and every week I take you through the ups and downs that I go through as I try to write and publish new books. So don't forget to click and subscribe or follow me so you won't miss when I'm doing a video. This week's video is all about the end of week 3 of NaNoWriMo. So if you are doing NaNoWriMo like I am, or if you're just interested about, or like, where should I be as part of NaNoWriMo, at this point, at the end of week 3, you should have 37,500 words done if you're on track to meeting the 50,000 word goal. Now, a lot of people think of NaNoWriMo in a couple of different ways. One is around, hey, get 50,000 words written in 1 month, the month of November. That's how I like to think of NaNoWriMo. Other writers think of NaNoWriMo as writing consistently, writing something every day so that you are assured that you meet your 50,000 word goal. That is not how I think of NaNoWriMo, because I know that I don't write every day. Because sometimes I don't feel like dealing with them characters. I'm like Julian, Mina, I don't want to think about y'all right now. I don't want to hang out with y'all right now. I want to do something different. And I don't feel like writing. So I don't put any pressure on myself to write every day. So when I think of NaNoWriMo, it's about making sure that on November 30th, I have at least 50,000 words written. And so this year, even more so because this is my second year doing it, this year I really start thinking of, okay, where should I be at the end of the day on Saturday? So at the end of the week, at the end of Saturday, for each of the weeks, I should hit 12,500, then 25,000, then 37,500, and then at the end, hit your 50,000 words. So at the end of week 3, I was at 37,728 words. So I am like super duper duper straight up on track. Drop the mic, right? So, and I was like, okay, well, I want to learn from this. Why am I doing so good? Like, what's really going on with you, Angel? Like, with everything that's going on in the world right now, how are you able to like really do this? And so, again, this is an author's diary. So some of this stuff I'm just telling so that future Angel can come back and look at this and be like, oh yeah, that's right. That is what I did. I need to do that. So I really honed in on 5 things, 5 tips, that I have for the week 3, what I learned from going through week 3's writing for NaNoWriMo. So just as a reminder, I am writing book 4 of the Hero in Paradise series. It is called The Unexpected Hero. It is the last and final book of the series. I'm done. Then I'll be done with Julian and Mina, the main characters of that whole series. And I do love them. I love writing them, but it is time for me to kind of start exploring some other characters. So I look forward to kind of moving on to some new people. But yeah, need to nail this last book. So 5 things that I have picked up that I did during week 3 that I think really helped me to be successful for getting the 37,728 words done. And the first thing I've already told you, it is knowing my progress, knowing my goal, right? So because I thought of NaNoWriMo broken down in 4-week chunks, 12,500 words each week, during the week, I can assess, okay, well, if I haven't written on Sunday and I haven't written on Monday and I haven't written on Tuesday, which is exactly what happened to me during week 3. Okay, so that means I have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I have 4 days left to write 12,500 words. And so I kept that running in my head to know, okay, if you only have 4 days, divide that into, your 12,500. That's how many words you need to write per day to make sure you get that tranche done. And I think keeping that top of mind will really help you to not be surprised when you're like 3 or 4 days away from the end of NaNoWriMo and you're like, how did I let this get out of control? No, every step of the way, I was reminding myself, okay, yeah, you're choosing not to write today, but that means you have less days to get that 12,500 done by the end of Saturday. And so while I always kept in my head, here's how many words that I need to write per day to make sure that I end up with the week total that I want to end up with. And I think just kind of keeping that top of mind will really help you to stay focused and to help you make sure that you end up meeting that ultimate goal. The second thing that I did was I changed up my scenery. So I live in, Tomball, which is kind of like right next door to Houston. So I'll basically say, I'm a Houstonian anyway, born and raised Houstonian. So The weather here has been like amazing. It is so beautiful and bright and sunny, but it's like highs in like the high 70s, which in the morning means like I need my coat because I'm cold in the morning, but by the time the afternoon comes, it's like the weather is just gorgeous and it's a nice little cool breeze as you're sitting out in the sun, warming your back and stuff. And so I decided that I'm gonna write in nature. I want to be outside writing. And so I did that twice this week. Early on, I wrote outside on my patio at the patio table. It was phenomenal. The breeze was beautiful. The sun was great. And then yesterday, to end out my writing session on the last day of the week, I actually went into Houston to the museum district, and our museum district is like phenomenal. Like we have like some of the best museums ever, and near the museum complex we have a sculpture garden. And I guess it's more of like a sculpture plaza, but basically it's a whole bunch of tables that are around different like sculptures that are just around in the plaza, and it's just like amazing. And we have like 3 Rodin sculptures there, and I just love them. And so I'm writing a scene, and then as I stop to take a break, I go and I stand and I look at the sculpture, and it's just like, it's so inspiring, and the nature and just the beauty, and it really helped me to feel creative and artistic, and that helped my writing. And so if you feel like, oh, you're stalling out, sometimes you really just need a change in scenery. Go sit and be in a place that you normally aren't in, and try to get your writing done. Try to go to a place where you would have outside kind of external motivation and inspiration to help you with your scenes. So it was a great time, and I think I'm going to continue to do that as long as it doesn't get too cold, because y'all know if it started dipping and the highs are like high 60s, I'm like, yeah, that's too cold to sit outside for me. That's uncomfortable. So but I am looking forward to writing outside in nature a whole lot more. The third thing that helped me this week was competition. So on the NaNoWriMo website, you can select buddies, like writing buddies, to encourage each other on your writing journey to make sure that you're getting your 50,000 words done. Well, I tend to be a little bit of a competitive person, and so one of my buddies had really been kind of struggling in the first 2 weeks of NaNoWriMo and only had about 7,000 words written, whereas I had 21,000 words written, right? So like 3 times as much as this person. Then towards the middle of week 3, because I kind of took the first half of the week completely off, I checked the NaNoWriMo website, and I still had my 21,000 words, and all of a sudden she was at 19,000 words, and I was like, what just happened here? And all of a sudden my competitive juices just started to flow, and I was like, wait a minute, I can't let her catch up with me. Like, I'm still supposed to be on pace. Like if she started that late and she didn't get all the writing done in the first 2 weeks, it shouldn't be until towards the middle of week 4 that we actually should be at the same spot. And if she surpasses me, like, what? And so really that competitive fire, that competitive juice that kind of sparked within me, that helped me to plow through, even when I would have been, be spoiled and be a little bit lazy, and yeah, I could write one more scene, but I think I just might get in the bed. No, I was like, no, because I need to keep this gap. I need to keep the gap. I had a 14,000 word gap, and now it's down to 2,000 or 3,000. What? So yeah, that really helped to get my juices going and to keep me writing even when I was exhausted and probably would have stopped writing. I kept going because I said, look, if she has made up that much time writing that many words a day, and she got a full-time job, just like I have a full-time job, I'm like, I need to stop being lazy. I need to go ahead and get these words written, right? There's no excuses. Now, what I say about competitiveness, though, you really have to understand that there is a thin line between a competition that fuels you and a competition that drains you and leads you into comparisonitis. So, and I think at any given time, each one of us, we can be in a situation where the competitiveness fuels us, and then other times you just get mired down in comparisonitis and it makes you feel bad, and it actually has a detrimental impact on your writing. So you really have to know kind of what state of mind you're in when something like that happens, because comparisonitis can be just so debilitating, right? The last thing you want to do is to look at somebody else's success and then feel like, why is this person getting this and I'm not getting this? And then spiraling that out of control till you get to the point where you're like, well, why am I even trying? I'm just going to stop writing. I'm not writing ever again. Like, you don't want to feel that type of competition where it actually makes you feel bad. So you kind of have to know yourself and know whether it's going to fuel you or not. If it's something that won't fuel you, then don't look at what your buddies are doing. Don't look at your buddies' progress. If you feel like it's going to make you be in comparison, not just like, how did she do that? Why can't I do that? Oh, I'm going to throw in the towel. Like, you don't want that. So kind of know yourself and know whether you need to be checking up on your buddies or not. I know that I have this competitive streak that will help to fuel me to do more. And so, yeah, I like to check my buddies and see kind of, okay, well, where are they? How close are they on track? Am I on track? Like, you know, that really helps me to continue to pursue my goals. And it's, you know, it's a good competitive fire. I think that helps to lift both of us. Now, the fourth thing that really started to help me is that I had to take a pause in writing and reanalyze my character. And this is my main character, Julian Montgomery. He is the ex-Navy SEAL that is the star of the series. And I know him so well, like I'm in book 4, right? And so there are things that as I'm writing his scenes, like I don't have to think, what would Julian do? Like Julian just comes out onto the page, right? And I was writing a few scenes and I was like, wait a minute. Okay, he just did something that shocked me, right? And I was like, and it felt right. It didn't feel like, oh, you know, because sometimes you can be like, oh, I'm actually making my character not act like he should be acting, right? No, this was something that's like, no, this feels right. This is Julian, and this is what Julian would do. And I had to pause to say, okay, why is he doing this? And I stepped back and I psychoanalyzed my character. So when I think about Julian is an ex-Navy SEAL. He is a military person. He is all about fighting the bad guys in the world to protect the greater good, to protect the innocent. What has also been consistent, which I don't think I've ever truly focused on, is that Julian does not fight back when the attack is personal to him. He will fight back. He will fight the world for the people he loves. He will fight the world for the nameless, faceless, innocent person that's being attacked by terrorists. But if the attack is personal, if the person is going after him directly, it really shakes him up. And he does not fight back the same way in that situation. He is more so likely to become passive and to resist when it is around protecting himself from a threat, which I found like really, really interesting about him. And I was like, and then I start to think back on things, situations that I had put him in, and Accidental Hero and Relentless Hero and Fallen Hero, which will be released in a couple of weeks. And it all hung true. If someone he loves, if the greater good, the innocent people, the population of the world, innocent citizens are all being attacked by some force, he is all in. He will risk his life to the very bitter end to protect those people. But when he is under attack, when somebody is just going after him, he does not respond very well to that. And so to me, that was really important because that is the ultimate battle that is going on in book 4. Not to give y'all a spoiler alert, but he directly is under attack, right? And I need to show him growing in that. It's like, yes, because he always thought of himself as being so selfish, but he really is not. He's truly selfless, right? He's not as selfish as he thought he was. But in book 4, he's going to have to become selfish and not just protect the world and the people he loves, but he's going to have to step up and say, you know what? My life is worth protecting. I'm going to stand up for me and make sure that I protect my life from this baddie. And so I was like, oh my goodness, I'm still learning things about my character, and it's really going to help me to write the future scenes and know the growth that I need to take him through in this, his last and final book, right? I got to make sure I nailed that, and I'm glad that it really came to me this week as I was writing those scenes. The last thing that helped me this week is not getting bogged down as I'm writing a scene if I don't quite know what I'm supposed to write about a section. So let me explain. So it's very common for authors to say, okay, oh, I forgot this person's name, or oh, I'm not sure how I'm going to describe this room. And so you kind of just leave some brackets there for you to go back and fix in the revision part. Like Everybody does that, right? You got brackets, you got highlights all over the place. Go back and, flesh this out. What is this person doing right now? Okay, I'll just put it in bracket while she did X, X, X in bracket, and then keep on writing the rest of the scene. So that's pretty common. What I did this week is I kind of amped that up. I took that a few steps further. I wrote scenes and I had skipped whole sections. So I had a scene and I was like, okay, I knew exactly, it's a dialogue scene. I knew the people that need to be in the scene, and I knew the information that they needed to exchange to help further my plot. I went so far as to say, I don't care where they are right now. I don't care what they're doing right now. All I'm going to focus on is getting that dialogue down and making sure that that dialogue is right, that progresses the plot. And I will go back and fill in that other huge chunk that needs to sit in and around that stuff, the internal narrative thoughts, where their external setting, what they're doing as they're interacting with each other, as the conversations are going on. I put all of that to the side. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna cover all of that in revision. I wrote the dialogue out, and this is like dialogue that really needs to further the plot. So it's like, even though I was skipping all that stuff, like I still ended up with a scene that was like 1,800 words, right? So it's not like I'm cutting, I'm like cutting NaNoWriMo corners. But what I am doing is stopping myself from wasting a bunch of time trying to flesh out that piece when I can actually do that later in the revision time period. And so allowing myself the freedom to skip wholesale sections of scenes and keep moving and progressing the story, and knowing that it's okay for me to go back and do this in the revision, because I'm not trying to write a perfect first draft. I'm just trying to get the first draft on the paper. That's all I'm trying to do, because y'all know I love to revise. I love to edit. That is my comfort zone. That's the time that I really, really enjoy writing. So this NaNoWriMo is just for me to get the story as I know it out onto the page all the way to the end. So then I can go into revision mode and see, does this work? Is this a story that works? And if it's not, get to fixing it. I think it is a story that works, because I keep going back over my outline and stuff, and I'm really loving this story. Okay, so those were the 5 things that I picked up from myself as I was working my way through week 3 of NaNoWriMo, writing book 4 of the Hero in Paradise series, called The Unexpected Hero. And next week will be the end of NaNoWriMo, right? So NaNoWriMo ends on that Monday, November 30th, but I'll be putting out my video next Sunday, and I'm hoping that I won't even need the extra time. I'm hoping that when I do my video next week, I can say, y'all, I hit my 50,000 words, y'all. I don't even know if that's going to look right. Is that 50? Y'all know what I'm trying to do. So I really want to hit the 50,000 words in time to do this video and not have to be trying to scramble to get the last few words in on that Monday or that Sunday or that Monday. I want to be done by the end of that Saturday, week 4, the end of the Saturday. So that's my goal. So if you want to continue to keep up with me and all the ups and downs that I go through as I try to write and publish new books, click the subscribe button, and then don't forget to click that little silver bell so you won't miss when I'm doing a video, and I will see you next time.